Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, January 13th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll have a reverse aging call, a health call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. on this line. How many of us seek exactly where the infinite source of love is? Just for a moment, stop everything and explore, where is your infinite source of love? This infinite love is deep inside each of us, at the very core of our being. The very moment that we completely relax about everything, and everything, everyone, and everything in our lives, we suddenly and spontaneously find it. So just relax into the feeling of being forever healed, happy, loved, and free. The good news is that you can relax right now, start this healing process, no matter what you're doing. Whomever you are with, wherever you are, you can relax, feel into your heart deeper. You can drop into that spiritual sense of what and who you truly are. It's time to appreciate your life more deeply and fully enjoy being alive in this now moment. Every moment of our lives are potential quality time for us to relax deeper and connect with our true spiritual nature. The mind covers up reality without knowing it. To know the nature of the mind, you need intelligence, the capacity to look at the mind in silent and dispassionate awareness, Nisargadatta. Every experience that this life brings each of us is a gift to enlighten the path in front of us. No matter how negative the experience is, you can always find some way to make a nourishing lemonade out of those sour lemons. You have the alchemist's power within you to transform the worst demons you meet on the road into angels with wings sent from heaven. All you need is a simple shift in your perception. By knowing what is true, and what is just a thought flying through your mind, you can become free from potential future suffering. The way that we see the world determines everything. Who we are being is shaped by that which we see. Someone who can only see the good in others can only feel good inside themselves. We automatically feel what we are focusing on. Automatically feel what we're focusing on. If you could train your mind to think only positive thoughts about your present predicament, then only positive feelings would be experienced by you. Your inner world is a reflection of what you place your attention upon. The mind functions much like a movie projector, continuously playing movies, displaying images from the past and the future into the blank screen of consciousness. Naturally, we are entertained by certain scenes that engage us emotionally, getting sucked into the drama and pulled into the story. This is where problems are created. When we start believing our inner movie is real, if you become stressed, uptight, or overwhelmed with life, start asking yourself this simple question. What is reality, and what is my imagination? What is reality, and what is my imagination? When you know the difference between these opposite worlds, and discover a world which has not born and was not born from your imagination, you'll uncover the greatest secret to creating the happiest life you can imagine. Total freedom from your mind. This is the first step towards total transformation. The second step is finding peace with every movie that is still replaying itself within you. God is there only if you surrender. Surrender makes anything God. Surrender gives. Surrender gives you the eyes, and everything that is brought to these eyes becomes divine. One of the most powerful, life-transforming, practical secrets for enlightening your life comes in 6 magical words. 6 magical words. Practice being responsible for your pain. Once you take ownership of the emotional sabotaging energy inside you, you can step through it and create something brand new. You are the adult here who is the authority of every unwanted feeling inside you. Nobody can make you feel anything that you won't allow yourself to feel anymore. Believe it or not, you are the boss of your life. You always have the choice to decide how you want to feel. If you're constantly saying to someone, you made me feel XYZ, you are giving away your power and creating creative manifesting ability. By proclaiming to the universe that another person can control how you feel, you have to play the powerless victim role in your life. It's usually the snake-like escape artist inside who avoids their pain and continuously blames others for how they are feeling inside. When you take ownership of the pain inside you, a new movie has to start playing that is about healing. When you can be responsible for every feeling, thought, and experience that life brings to you, you instantly regain the power to transform your life. You can shapeshift your entire perception of reality to be however you wish to be. You can be at peace with everyone you meet. You can choose to love and accept others just as they are. You become the still, silent witness who is at peace in the eye of the storm. Our only true power exists in our attitude and approach to this life. How are you choosing to play with the cards you've been dealt? Are you appreciating your circumstances as an empowering, deeply eternal loving, or playing an angry victim role? You can run from your life and pretend to be a mouse, or you can face it and move towards it like a lion. Only when you truly face your life do you start summoning every gift, energy, and inspiration inside you to conquer the obstacles ahead. Facing our pain is how we all grow and evolve as human beings. Life is only an opportunity to grow, to be in bloom also. Right now, you're entertaining the most exciting time in your life. And the future in front of you is bright, perfect, and flawless. Are you willing to shift your perception of life and truly see this? Your happiness or unhappiness today is based on your perception of tomorrow. What you decide to think about your future determines how you feel and how you will feel about yourself right now. Choose to see yourself waking up to a higher, lighter, freer, happier you. Be responsible for healing the pain inside you. Respond to every situation with love, patience, and ease. I find that the most beautiful aspect and saving grace about being human is that change is inevitable. The greatest sinner one day will suddenly do something. In other words, the greatest sinner, the greatest missing the target, will suddenly do something saintly. And the biggest saint will take on the heaviest sin. Nobody is forever stuck in any one way of being. We are constantly changing and evolving towards our highest, most enlightened self. Some will take a slower path than others. Yet, we are always on the right path, no matter how wrong our minds believe it is. Our soul's mission here is much bigger than we can imagine. No thoughts can sum up the totality of our soul's existence. We are always much more amazing than any opinion anyone has ever had of you. How can we box up an infinite soul with magical manifesting abilities and say this person has these certain qualities all the time? People are born to change. They will surprise you when you can give them the love, space, and time to respond differently. Everyone has the potential inside them to become as quiet, peaceful, and enlightened as a Buddha. So for this week is to meditate on knowing that the universe and all its beings are here as facilitators in your enlightenment process. Use every message, action, and person you encounter as fuel on your path towards enlightenment. Stop blaming others for your pain and start appreciating them for teaching you what it takes to wake up. And everyone is here to help you discover that bliss is the very nature and essence of who you are, of who we all are. Accept the people in your life as your top spiritual guides who are in disguise. They were trained to help you reveal a deeper understanding of who you are. Make it a resolution to entertain this awakening perspective, and enlightenment will find you. Love says, I am everything. Wisdom says, I am nothing. Between the two, my life flows. Love says, I am everything. Wisdom says, I am nothing. Between the two, my life flows. Nisargadatta. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax the bodies we're in. Head to toe inside now. Excuse me. And now, when we know that we are not the body, that we are the God in the body, and the body we inherit when we enter it, powered up. And so we inherit the ego mind, everything, subconscious mind. And we're like, the body is like this super powerful magnet, and it draws everything to it. It draws everything to it. It'll draw happiness, sadness, pain, sorrow, anguish, anger, revenge. It'll draw everything. Stress everybody's thoughts. So by focusing on our breath and releasing all of this stuff that the body attracts, mind, ego attracts, body attracts, it's inherent to these bodies. So it's always part of the challenge for every one of us. So by focusing on the breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth, you move yourself out of the ego mind, subconscious mind, into the now. This allows the body to let go. Do you really care to drag things? Things that you just haven't given yourself time to address throughout this life, where they just they accumulate. And then you find that you run out of room on where to put them. And, so many times they bubble up in front of you. Because most of the time we don't basically look at them and say, okay, why are you here? You know, what are you? You're this sphere. Why am I carrying you around? Or this pain, or this sorrow. And so by focusing on the breath, divine positive energy, moving into the now, you still the ego, the mind, the subconscious mind. You leave them alone. So the tens of millions of thoughts that are flying by in the sky, like clouds, which are programs, which are other people's thoughts, we aren't even interested in grabbing onto them. We aren't really interested in doing anything but being in the now. And after you've been in the now for a while, you won't leave it. You'll be so motivated to stay with it. Where's that mind chatter when you're in the now? It's not there. Where's the worry, stress, fear, anxiety? It's not there. Not when you're in the now. When you're focused on the breath and you stay in the now, all that stuff, it isn't there anymore. And we don't know it because we're in the now. We don't really care. It's only when we are seduced out of the now. And then when we become seduced out of the now, guess what? Mind chatters back. Fear, sorrow, anguish, all that comes back. Isn't that interesting? And the majority of us aren't in the now. We're either in the past or the future. But to be in the now is the challenge. And all that does, all the things that it does do, where you feel completely relaxed, where the body is not stressed, there isn't worry. And it's not like you're running away from it, because you know it's there. So you address it, and it vanishes. And that's what happens when we practice being in the now. Now, of course, and the body gets lighter, but we do get distracted. And I don't think any of us are exempt from it. We get these thoughts that come in. They're not our thoughts. And when they come in, we just grab onto one or two or whatever. The next thing you know, we're floating off somewhere with that thought. Then we know, and the most important part is to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself and be into deep gratitude 24/7. So when you do shift out by grabbing onto one of these thoughts or a handful of them, you focus on your breath. It's no big. I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. And you'll be in the now 3,000% of the time. And you can do it anytime. It doesn't. You don't have to have a special place. You could do it walking. You could do it interacting with others. It's just focus on the now. Identifying the ego, but you watch it, say, you're not participating with it. And you identify the ego as these different thoughts that come in. You go, that's the ego. Right? So, and then it vanishes. As soon as you find out that it's the ego generating some of these thoughts, then you'll dismiss it. It's the same with the mind. You always remember that when you generate 60,000 plus thoughts a day, they go out. Now, that doesn't mean that you're consciously aware of every single one of them, but they go out to the universe. Now, those are your thoughts. The other thoughts are someone else's thoughts. And this is why I've talked with people that say, there's sometimes I'll have a thought come in. And what happens is that I embrace that thought. I think it's mine. And I have no reason to think it isn't mine. because it's so attached to everything with me. So I embrace it and I bring it into reality and I experience it. But I also know that it isn't really my thought because I don't feel that comfortable with it. So picture 8 billion of us sending out thoughts, right? Most of which we are not consciously aware of, and others of us embracing those thoughts as our own. Isn't that wild? Why do you think there's so much confusion, disorientation, misdirection? Diffusion. That's why. But it's knowing it is one of the biggest keys. And see, in the now, you surrender a lot of things. And then you start to realize it's not a big deal to surrender things. I'm not giving up on anything. I've just surrendered these. I'm no longer interested in these things. And you'll find also wanting and having through the ego. When you start to eliminate that and you just go with the flow because you have all the confidence and faith and trust in the universe and in yourself, that whatever it is, all you need to do or should choose to do is to request it and let it go. When this civilization continues on its evolutionary path, eventually many of us are going to start to realize, holy cow, I've been chasing things my whole life. And now I've discovered that I don't need to chase anything. That all I do is request, and it is done. Now, when you look at the body you're in, and you see these 7 lights from the tailbone to the top of the head. We'll just cover the general 7. And these are lights, and they're vibrant, deep, colored lights, 7 different colors. And they're much more vibrant than the ones on this planet. Now, they're spiritual etherical energy, and they're called chakras. Definition of chakra is wheel. These are wheels of light. And we, the gods that we are in these bodies, travel through them all the time. We are etheric spiritual energy as well. So doesn't it make sense that we are literally intimately connected with every single, right down to the quantum quark of the bodies we're in? That we know every blood flow, every cell, every structure, every application, every function. So on self-discovery, each of us will come to the realization on our, as our journey continues within, that we can heal these bodies. And we'll get so good at healing them, keeping them young, that it'll be like a blink of the eye. Oh, I cut myself. Let's heal that right now. And it's healed. Now, if you were for a moment you're standing, you look down, you're standing on a gold circle pad. And to your left is a gold circle, and then to your right is a gold circle. And all of them have these paths that you're facing. And you see these golden shimmering trees. The leaves are gold, the bark, the branches, everything. And they formed a canopy over each of these paths. And each path is this vibrant, bright emerald green, almost, it's like a flaming grass. Now, the one on the left is the past. and it looks very well used. The one on the right is the future. It also looks very well used. But the one you're standing on, the now, it looks almost brand new. Now, we all reminisce. We have memories. We enjoy them. We have nostalgia. We keep things because of memories. Heirlooms, And we visit our subconscious mind, which is our personal library of all the events and all the thoughts, everything so far that we have experienced in these bodies, with these bodies. And we have fun reviewing and reminiscing, but even some of the ones that aren't too great we visit. But then, we put the books back on the shelves and we turn the light off and shut the door, leave and shut the door and move forward. But some of us stay there too long. And I don't believe it's on purpose. I believe it's unconscious. They stay there so long that they bring that past into a future that doesn't exist. They create that future out of that past, and they relive that past in that future. That's why a lot of people will say no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now the future, we all visit the future, even though we create the future in the now. And we're always wanting to know things. When am I going to be healthy enough to enjoy my life? When am I going to have enough money to enjoy my life? When am I going to start liking my job? When am I going to get a new job? When am I going to get a raise? When am I going to get a better boss? When am I going to meet the one of my life for lifelong romantic relationship? And we ask this, and we go to other people, and we ask other people, astrologers, clairvoyants, mediums, and we're looking. What are we looking for? Everything that we're looking for is within us. All the answers that we look for outside of us are within us. When you pray, you don't really realize it, but you're praying to the God that you are within the body. The now is the power. The now. The breath is the now. When you focus on that breath, you're automatically in the now. Breath is divine positive energy because we, as gods and souls, or whatever you want to label us, we enter these bodies, we power them up. Then the lungs function and the breath is created. And our atmosphere has oxygen, so that's how we keep these bodies sustained. Now, we know that we are the God, so we enter the body. The God is the heaven. Heaven isn't a place, it's what you are, the God that you are. The body is earth. We are literally heaven on earth. And being consciously aware is that we are consciously aware that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And we're creating paradise every step we take on this planet, literally. Not only that, we're shining our light 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond. And that is, from the center of our being, pure, deep, eternal love. That's the light that we're blasting everywhere. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe is always. There's no escape from it. And some of us just may discover, before we decide to leave these bodies, that when we do leave them, we are the light. We are the God force, love, light, energy. So another light, why would we follow another light? That's the trap. That's part of our discovery, our self-discovery while we're in these physical forms. Now, if you were to take a starship off this planet and far enough out so you could see its entirety, you would see that it glowed. You would also see all of the surrounding lights in this universe, and you would see that they paled in comparison because they would all look like lit candles in dark space, dim. So we know that there are parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are asleep. Those parts aren't going to wake up until they decide to. They're with us all the time. They're part of us. They don't participate in meditations or anything. Now, there's other parts of us that are awake, consciously aware to a certain extent. That's all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. They come in trillions of Gugaplexes from trillions of universes from every direction. Now, this is the Archangels, the Cherubim, the Seraphim, the archetypes. This is the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Moria, Medantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime, and all lifetimes that we have experienced and inhabited. All the offworlders, galactics, celestials. Now, the archangels, their civilization vibrate at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. But we do interact with them. We do meet with them. And it doesn't mean that we always know. But a lot of the times it just dawns on us that was an angel. You could be in a random conversation. And there's something different. You're not reading into it. Your heart mind just picks it up. It's a lot of times, you might be feeling or thinking that it would be nice if that you had an extra pair of hands to help you with something or to lift something. The next thing you know, there's someone there helping you. And the next thing you know, you look around, they're gone. You might walk into a store, there's someone standing there, and they make a comment to you, and you look around, and before you know it, they're gone. And then a little bit of the bliss in you bubbles to the surface. Now, the message, they deliver it in so many different ways through tens of thousands of years to us. And it really comes down to, isn't it absolutely magna, glorious, splendiferous, spectacular to be alive in these bodies? And it is. It's just that we kind of take them for granted because we're so mesmerized by the material physical world outside of us. But when you start to realize, I guarantee you, every one of us that leave these bodies, when we decide to leave them, and we start realizing that we don't eat, we don't sleep, we don't touch, we don't smile, we don't frown, we don't cry, we don't laugh. We don't do any of that stuff. And you see, once you realize that, that's why a lot of us will leave these bodies and say, and then when we realize that we're not the body anymore, everything just kind of slips away. We don't remember. That's why we're so literally seduced by these bodies. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of millions. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And if you want them to, ask them. They'll be there in a blink of the eye, and you'll be in bliss. The Ascended Masters, they have ascended into physical form and also mastered physical form, and ascended out of physical form and hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form, creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, light energy beings who come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations, because the eyes that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. We don't see the different light spectrum beings, infrared, red, violet, ultraviolet, these different light spectrums. But there is a group that we do interact with partially on every day. It's the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Now, people say, well, how do we interact? Well, some of them we interact with every day. We have to, if we want to stay in these bodies. Because we know that if these bodies don't get water, we can't stay in them. They don't get air, we can't stay in them. What about soil, food? We can't stay in them. What about fire? Wood? We can't stay in them. So we're definitely intimately connected with this group. Now the offworlders, the galactics, the celestials, over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universe every day. And there's a small group that we are familiar with: Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Feline, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, we're all gathered, so to speak. Even if parts of us are a billion light years away, it doesn't matter. We're still one. Still communicate. And we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love, and our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, continues to intensify, expand, and grow. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God source, from the kingdom of God, the heaven, you inside those bodies. It is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And it's flooding this planet, infinity and beyond, 24/7, head to toe, inside and out. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. This light is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns to even come close to its brightness. Now we begin to ascend above the planet, and as we do, we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. Now, it's not like an ocean you'd imagine here on this planet of glitter, because you take a fireworks grand finale display, which is nothing on this planet has come close to, same with a laser light show, and a ballroom globe that spins, that mirrors, that reflects the light everywhere. Except this globe is 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense. Combine all of those, and that's about as close as we'll get to describing this ocean of glitter. Now, we're curious, so we go to the reflective points and we notice that these little tiny microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors. We enter them and we discover that all of us are either teaching or learning or teaching. Student, teacher, teacher, student, one or the other or both. And how do we learn? Everything contains a God. Like the tree. The deception of the tree is that, well, that tree is alive. It is not the tree that is the life. It is the God within it that gives the tree life. It's the same with everything. A dog, a cat, a deer, a bear, a moose. Everything has form of some kind. And when we do understand this, and we're on the inward journey, we will learn from it. Nonstop. People come into your life for a couple of seconds. What is it that you learn? We're always exchanging. You know, someone comes into your life, you teach them something. That doesn't mean that I'm going to teach them something. It just means that they come into your field, they know. They picked up something, learned something. Vice versa. And you imagine we're doing that all the time? And the majority of us don't even know. When someone irritates you, those are your greatest teachers. Why? Because when they irritate you, there's something that you see in them about yourself. If you were in a relationship with someone who was exactly like you, how would you ever learn? A lot of us make the mistake, and not really a mistake. We make the decision to interact with someone that, well, they like the same things I do, and this is great and everything. But in actuality, interacting with someone that doesn't have the same likes and dislikes that you do, maybe some, maybe a few, but the majority different. So you can learn. The closest you'll ever come to being with someone like you is you. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind every one of us the gods that we are in these bodies are the omnipotent power of healing. We're met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We're then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with the white fire armor. Nothing like the armor on this planet, way beyond. And this white fire armor emanates from the God source within each and every one of us. The highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. The highest frequency there is. So no demon possession, no attachments. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. They can't come near us at that high frequency. They'll vanish. They'll vaporize. Some of them make the mistake of doing that, but the rest of them say, just stay away. So 24/7, always protected. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, your hatred, anger, fear, greed, envy, revenge, hurriedness, ego, worry, stress, fear, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then the opportunities are there. You know, the demon possession, attachments, many different things. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with the double column of light, which the first part is the purple transmuting flame. We created this part to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame, we can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness, where they are no more. The second half of this column of light is the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray, right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony, the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind all of us gods in these bodies that we are the sun, the sunlight. The sunset and the sun rises. We're the rain and the rainbows. We're the oceans, rivers, lakes, and streams, trees and the forest, the soils, the animals, the clouds in the sky. We are everything, and everything is us. So the next time you view a sunset or a sunrise, oceanfront, mountain view, snowfall, starry lit night sky, bug in the rug, it is you. You're the beauty. You're the majesty. You're the splendor. You're the divine perfection. Most of the time we look at things and we say, isn't that beautiful? But we miss the target on that. When you do say from your heart mind, that is the God that I am. You can have 20 people all staring. That is the God that I am. Whole different understanding. We continue to ascend above the planet, and some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above them, if we're carrying physical form. And the reason we do this is because it's fun, and we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this massive golden white bowl of light. It is surrounded by endless multicolored rings of light. And all of this has created this super white mist cloud that is sparkling unlike anything you've ever seen. And you can see almost like arcs of electric energy. And it absorbs in through your heart mind, and it is like a warm embrace that never ends. The golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest eternal love. Then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. Bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, stupendous, marvelous prosperity, and abundance. And all of it, is but a reflection of the gods that we all are. And at the top of this column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, of which it does throughout infinity and beyond, flooding every one of us as we're swimming in it, head to toe, inside and out, with the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And we are all drops of this golden ocean. And we hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is drops of the golden ocean. And the only thing that is the illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We all created this sphere nearly 4 years ago. It holds almost 1,800 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds of millions of us gathered on and off world, consciously aware, for the full liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. Not half, not partial, not sloppy, not lazy, but complete full liberation of this planet, where all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies cannot exist. You can plug into it any time you choose. Feel it. The quality of our personal relationships represents how interconnected and whole we are within ourselves. For today, take some time to recognize and acknowledge all the interactions, connections, relations, and relationships you are still thinking about from your past. This may seem like an impossible feat. Yet just do the best memory recall you can. Go back to your childhood, grade school, high school. Take a good look at what memories you are still repeating. What would you have done or said differently? I'll join you in a meditation and return to close self. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Shine the light of consciousness into your unconsciousness, and you will illuminate your soul. Right now, there is a massive amount of hidden, unknown, buried material in our unconsciousness. Sometime today, for 30 minutes, bring your awareness into your unconsciousness. How do you do this? Sit in a dark room. Close your eyes. Relax deeply into your belly and body. Allow any thought to arise that may be hidden beneath the surface. When they do, the instant they enter your mind, imagine you're shining a bright golden spotlight on them immediately. However, this light is so powerful, it incinerates the thought, and they dissolve instantly, giving more space for you inside. During this exercise, know that you are safe here, no matter what you experience. Even though you may see nothing and feel nothing, stay present to the void. You may feel your entire body and mind have disappeared. Simply remain present and aware that consciousness is always here. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here Friday, tomorrow, January 14th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Reverse Aging Health call.